Hey, what's up, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and it's time to talk about The Walking Dead. So last week's episode didn't really have a lot to talk about. I found it was just kind of like it was there, If you didn't see my video talking about that, go back and check it out. It was mostly ended up being an audio because I didn't have any video for it, but I talked about it anyway. This week's episode, it's kind of in the same vein. There's not a whole lot that was, I thought, exceptionally good. There wasn't a whole lot that I thought was exceptionally bad. It was just kind of there. And it wasn't exactly revelatory in many ways. So there's two major story arcs here in this episode. We have Maggie and Sasha at Hilltop, and we have Carl and Girl Carl doing whatever it is they're doing. So I'm pretty sure as I was watching the episode and it became apparent that Carl was going to be a main character in the episode, that I heard people outside of my house, I think probably the whole country, just kind of sighed heavily because he's not a good actor. I'm sorry, Chandler Riggs. I'm not sorry. You're not a good actor. Not that I could do better, but I don't have to. I'm not the one doing it. So it wasn't the kind of episode I was excited for once I found that out. Maybe if he cut his hair. It's just, he's such an unappealing character in the show. And he's still got that attitude, or apparently it's back, the attitude toward his dad. And this whole, I'm not going to settle for this Negan thing. Like, come on, Carl. Don't you see what's happening? Then he even goes on to talk about it later. I made myself watch because I had to know what I was going to do when I'm going to do it and whatever he said. So deep. But he's still being a turd, so I don't get that. And so this episode is about him, his part anyways, about him going after Girl Carl, who I call Girl Carl because she's equally annoying and doesn't really add anything to the show, I don't think. So she's leaving. She's done. And Carl's like, I'm not going to stop you this time, even though I'm going to have a sad puppy dog face all the time. And then, no, I'm going to stop you after all anyway. But actually, I'm not stopping you. I'm just going to go kill Negan. Because that's something Carl can accomplish. The whole storyline between Carl and the girl was just pointless. It didn't make any sense. Carl thinking he could do that was stupid. Yeah, I know he's still a fairly young kid, but come on. As much stuff as he's been through, as much as he's seen, he should be waking up, or have woken up, awakened, whatever, by now. And he's not. It was just lame. Super lame. And then they're walking, oh, we're gonna fall in love again because we had some issues in the past, but now we like each other again. And oh, look, roller skates. What? What? There happened to be, along the path they're walking, a piece of luggage with roller skates that at least acceptably fits each of them. Oh, that's convenient. It's just so lame. The whole thing with Carl needs to go. And I heard rumors that he's going to be off the show because he's going to go to college and they're going to just write out his character. That would be fantastic. I would love that. How many people would love that? I think most people would love that. So the whole Carl thing didn't really go anywhere. Apparently he's super sneaky and he accomplishes the first step of his plan to go after Negan. And Girl Carl accomplishes her plan, which is to meet Maggie at Hilltop. That's it. Their storyline was done for that, so okay. They kissed awkwardly, super awkwardly, might I add, and that was it. Okay, that's it. So now we can talk about Sasha and Maggie, which are more important characters, at least in my opinion. I imagine most people would agree. So we haven't seen Maggie since she was sick and since the whole head smashing thing. So she was going to go to Hilltop. Sasha said she would take her. Apparently they made it. The doctor tells Maggie, you're going to be okay, kind of, mostly. Just, relax, you'll be okay. That's the general gist of it. And Sasha's like, okay, that's cool. So we'll just hang out here and we'll make sure you're safe and healthy. And the doctor said to stay here and rest. So that's what we're going to do. And then Gregory comes around and he's like a big dick. And he's like, oh, you can't stay here because what if the Saviors find out that you're here and they know that your people helped us kill some of their people last time you were here? They're not even talking about the whole head smashing thing because Gregory's people don't even know about that. And Negan's people don't know that Maggie is at Hilltop, so they're all like protecting different issues that aren't even really the big issues yet. So, I mean, that was okay because they didn't know any better, but that was still weird. So anyway, he says, no, you have to go. And Jesus is like, but I'd like them to stay. And he says, no, you have to go. And then Sasha and Maggie are like, but we're gonna stay. We're taking over. Like, I mean, there was obviously a lot more in between that, but what is with this group? All of a sudden, as of a while ago, but there was a point when this started happening, and that's what led to all the problems we have now. They just think they can do whatever they want. They're the good guys, but they're basically the same thing as the saviors, doing whatever they want until somebody bigger like the saviors come along. So she's like, well, we're going to stay here anyway, and Gregory can't stop us. And it ends up working out in a way that they end up being allowed to stay, but now they're alluding to the fact that maybe Maggie's going to be in charge at Hilltop, and this is our home now, and we have the right to be. No, you don't. It's the Hilltop. It's their home. You're a guest, a very lucky guest. They're able to help you. You don't get to make the calls. Since when do you just get to say, it's your house, but I'm coming and I'm moving in? You don't get to do that, but they're doing that. I find that highly annoying, especially after what's been going on with them. They've already found out that doesn't work. They found somebody who can stand up to them, and so they met some problems in that the ginger guy and Glenn died because of their arrogance, their hubris. It didn't work out, and now they're doing the exact same thing that they were doing before as soon as they're able to do it again. That's just silly. And then the whole thing with the saviors coming didn't really add anything. We knew that Gregory was kind of a turd, and he continued to be a turd. He was going to rat out Maggie and Sasha, but luckily Jesus worked that out. And so Jesus was in the show, but he felt like a different character to me. He was kind of this brash, kind of like the middleman, but still fairly assertive prior to this episode. But in this episode, around Gregory, he's very not assertive. I don't know what the opposite, passive? No. Timid? I don't know what the word would be, but didn't feel right. But anyway, by the end of the episode, Sasha wants Jesus to go find out where Negan lives because the Negan people came conveniently and had to take stuff back to Negan. So Jesus sneaks on the truck. He's going to go find out so that Maggie and Sasha can somehow put into action a plan to kill Negan. That's their plan, which is totally half-baked, if at all. And then it turns out, yeah, Carl snuck in the same truck because Carl is sneaky and gets away with doing that kind of thing. Winky Carl. The episode wasn't bad on a whole, but it was just like, lots of it just wasn't. And the Negan people are still super upset about the couple of guys that they killed at Hilltop. They didn't even bring up the fact that they had like a whole bunch of people killed. It felt very heavy-handed. Like they just kind of snuck that episode in there to get Jesus on the truck and to get Carl an episode. I'm not sure. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. It wasn't. I don't know. It didn't make me feel uncomfortable like the last episode did, but I don't know, guys. The season's just not working out for me so far. I'm curious how you guys feel. A lot of people kind of agree with me last time about the whole Negan thing making the show kind of unpleasant to watch because it was intentionally unpleasant, which is fine, but, you have to choose if you want to watch something like that or not. And then the other episodes just don't have any gusto to them. And they have some questionable writing. And then Chandler Riggs shouldn't have main story arcs within each episode at all. He shouldn't have them at all. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I'm curious what you guys thought. To me, it was a very throwaway episode. We didn't really gain much. We didn't get much out of it at all. I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say. So I'm curious what you guys thought. Let me know in the comment section below. And I know it's late in the week, so we'll be talking very soon again about the next episode. And Thanksgiving is tomorrow. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And I'll see you in the next video.